orders are due this Monday for pretty much everybody except anything from Lunar, like DC, is going to be due this Sunday. So let's go ahead and take a look at my top 10 FOC comic picks for final order cutoff due next Monday and Sunday, but the Monday is December 11th, 2023. Without further ado, let's get started. And number 10 is going to be X-Men number 4, the facsimile edition. This is a new printing of it. And there is a 10, I guess, B, you could say. And that is another facsimile, Amazing Spider-Man number 252, the facsimile edition. This one is a foil new print. Variant, although... Okay, never mind. So, that's my number 10, is those two facsimiles. Let's move on to number 9. And this one is actually a personal pick of mine, but I think it could have some legs here. It's Sean Gordon Murphy, who's amazing. And it's Zorro, Man of the Dead number 1. Now, check out the comparison. It says, I forget where it says, but it basically says like Zorro meets let me see. So it's a fresh take on the vigilante. There it is. Don Quixote meets Narcos, which I think sounds really cool. So Diego, as a young man, is convinced that he's Zorro. He suffered a psychotic break after he witnessed the murder of his parents by a drug cartel. To cope with the trauma, he embraces the 200-year-old legend of Zorro by donning the mask, training with the sword, and declaring war on the narcos for the sake of his people. I think that sounds pretty awesome. And here's an amazing cover B. Cover B by Bermejo. And, I mean, look at that thing. That is so cool. And it just feeds into the modern retelling of it that I think could be awesome. But that's my number 9. So my number 8 is Star Wars Visions Takashi Okazaki number 1. And this one is, it's just Visions returning to the world of the Ronin once more. And I just think that this one could be, a favorite of the Star Wars fans. Visions was received really well, so we might see some comic book fan, Star Wars fan crossover here, and some legs for this one right here. And let's move on to number 7, and we have Cable number 1. And this one is the first one that is like a key, and it has the first appearance of the Neocracy. And it's actually a 5-issue tie-in to the fall of the House of X and the rise of the Powers of 10. And so, if you're interested in that, I mean, I know it's kind of annoying, they have all these tie-ins and everything, but if you're interested in it, this could be something that you'd want to pick up as far as a tie-in for that goes. But it does have a key appearance, key aspect of it, that is the first team appearance of the Neocracy. And number 6, we have... Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to show you that there is a 1 for 50 John Romita Jr. Hidden Gem variant. Cover's not out yet. And there is also a 1 for 100 Portasio Virgin variant. It is also not out yet. And so that brings me now moving on to number 6. And if it loads, there we go. We have Batman Off-World number 3. And this one is the first... I'm a little confused. It says possible first appearance of the Thanagarian, a bounty hunter. But I thought, isn't that what Hawkman and Hawkgirl are Thanagarians? Am I wrong about that? So... Is it just like how there's Mandalorians, but we call Mando the Mandalorian as the bounty hunter? Even though, like I said, there's other Mandalorians. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's I think it's really, this cover's amazing. It's a possible appearance, but I think if there is one, with it being a Batman book, that gives it a little bit more credit. That's why it is at number 6, but it's not that high because, again, it's a possible appearance. It'd probably be higher if it was an actual appearance and there's a little bit more details about the character. But let's just move right along here to number 5, and we have Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. And this one is the first appearance of the Werewolf by 2099, who's here on cover A, which is really nice to have. And I did want to show you a 1 for 25 connecting variant that seems to have the character on the cover as well. The only thing better is, let me hear you all say it, if it's a second print 1 for 25 that would have the first appearance of the character on the cover. Just released a video yesterday about the new comic book day for next Wednesday. And there is a one, it's not a 1 for 25, but it is a second print that has the first appearance of a character. You have to go ahead and check that out on the cover, and it's the first appearance of a character, but the second print is the first cover appearance of that character. So that might be something you want to check out. I'll probably leave that as one of the videos at the end of this video that you can click on. But let's move along to number 4, and that brings us to another DC book, the last one of the day, and that is Superman number 10, and it's basically a possible appearance. Again, it'd be a little higher if it was a real appearance. First appearance of the Man from Yesterday, an Old West version of Clark Kent. No idea what that means, because it's not like how there was a Ghost Rider from 100 years ago, and I don't even think it was called a Ghost Rider. I think it was called a Spirit of Vengeance from 100 years ago. That sort of makes sense, but a Clark Kent from an old Western version, it just doesn't make as much sense to me. I don't know, maybe it will as far as the story goes, but there you go. That's my number 4. And my number 3 is Thrawn. Star Wars Thrawn Alliance is number 1. Timothy Zahn is writing this. So I'm pretty sure Theory is going to love, Star Wars Theory is going to love this book. I think Josh over at Dead of Nerds will also really love this book. I just think it's right up their alley, especially if it's Timothy Zahn coming back to write Thrawn. I don't know much about Jody Houser, so obviously those guys are more of an expert on Star Wars than I am. But I did want to show you this cover right here. This is the promo variant, and it got smaller as I clicked it. Let me just zoom in. It's got Hayden Christensen on there. And imagine if they made Thrawn look like this instead of... I get you got the voice actor from Rebels, but seriously, this is what Thrawn needed to look like. Almost like, what's his name, Mark Strong, the guy who was Sinestro, and he was in Sherlock Holmes, the first one with Robert Downey Jr. as the bad guy, and he was in Kingsman. But I think that he would have made a better Thrawn than the guy that they picked. I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to get too much of a tangent talking about my disappointment in live-action Thrawn. But let's go ahead and look at number 2, and that is Daredevil number 5. And I heard Saladin Ahmed is actually doing a pretty good job on writing this. He actually did that really popular Miles Morales run and had all those keys in it. So I'm not surprised we're getting some keys in the first couple of issues of Daredevil. So it says right here, where is it? Saladin Ahmed continue the explosive debut this year, featuring an all-new villain for Daredevil to face down. So there's an all-new villain in here. I looked at the other covers on LeagueOfComicGeeks.com, and that's what some of these other covers you've seen were from there, because they'll have other covers that Previews World doesn't have. And I didn't see anything with the villain or anything on it. So cover A, I guess is as normal the one to have. But before I get into number one, I did want to remind you, I do have my PayPal and my Venmo in the description of the video. If you wanted to support the channel and leave a message with it, I will go ahead and read that message in the following video. But here we go. With number one, we have Jackpot number one. Always bet on red. And naturally, it's a gang war tie-in like everything else. Mary Jane Watson, aka Jackpot, gets her first solo super story since her debut in ASM number 31. New York City is in chaos as the superpowered criminal gangs are at war, and it's all hands on deck. It's a baptism by fire, but come on, this is Mary Jane. What can't she handle? Looks like it's actually a one-shot, even though it says number one. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do with that, because it's not an ongoing series. But does that make it like more rare in the future because it's a one-shot? That it's not like a series that they're going to be going on and on with? What would be really cool is if there was a debut of a new power or a new villain or something that then is on the cover of the second print. And then of course if there's a second print 1/25 variant, that would be even cooler. But I did want to show you, this would have to be my ultimate number one, is Jackpot number one. This is the 1/100 Virgin variant. Let me see, I think the other, yeah, so the regular one is not out either. So we don't know what this looks like yet, but you might want to keep an eye on getting the, obviously you can't FOC this one, but if it's something you're interested in, let your comic shop know, because a lot of these, like, they're going to get the one, and then they're going to have to sell it, but keep an eye on it to make sure it's something that you want. And if it is, there you go. But I wanted to bring that to your attention, that there is a 1/100 on this new character. So that's my ultimate number one, is the Jackpot number one, 1/100 Jackpot Virgin variant. Alright everybody, that's going to go ahead and do it in this video for me, and my top 10 FOC comic picks for final or cutoff due next Monday, December 11th, 2023. If you wanted to pick up that Batman book or that Superman book or anything else that you see out there online from Lunar and DC, you're going to want to get those orders in by end of day Sunday to whomever you get it from, whether it's Bill over Economics and Comics or your local comic book shop. But that's you're going to want to get those in by Sunday, December 10th, 2023. Again, one last time, I did want to remind you I'm doing my PayPal and my Venmo in the description of the video. If you want to support the channel, anything going there is going to be saved up and put towards equipment so that I can start my streaming portion of what I want to do. I would love to do like 2 or 3 videos a week and 2 or 3 live streams a week of maybe 1 or 2 gaming, and then 1 just kind of like talking about comic spec and movies and stuff like that. I think that'd be really fun to start getting more consistent with that kind of thing. But anyway, I guess that's it. I'll let you guys go. I do have my video for the books that just came out yesterday. It's the for New Comic Book Day on December 6th, and then there's the books that are coming out next week. Here's the second video, December 13th, 2023. That one is a packed list. It's got some amazing stuff. I'm thinking of doing a short, just doing a quick rundown of all of them, just so you can just see a quick one. Let me know what you think. I'm thinking of doing shorts also for my, like, both of my top 10s, just because I think that it's kind of awesome. As well as when I do those month out ones, so like for my January one, do a short for each of the weeks, and maybe not touch too much upon with commentary and, you know, insight and analysis of value and key importance and stuff like that, but more just, quick list of things that I'm paying attention to. And then you can watch my actual videos for the in-depth analysis, or you can do your own research, which I always recommend you do. My stuff's just supplementary compared to, or in relation to what you guys do yourselves. Anyways, that's enough rambling. I'll go ahead and let you guys get out of here. But until next time, bye.